Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Now, I am going to do an Access All Areas video. I have done these in previous months, and basically what I do is I take a website or an app and I review it for the visually impaired. Now, the things that I'm going to mention in this video, I have mentioned in them videos, but there's been updates to everything, so yeah, thought I'd do a quick review. Now, I must add that I am using the new camera, so whether or not this works properly, I have no idea, so please let me know. So I'm going to dive straight in. The first one is Facebook, their app. Now, Facebook's app hasn't really had much of a change. You still have down the right hand side all your chat, your newsfeed in the middle, your three buttons, which is friend requests, messages and notifications in the top left, and then you have your main menu button. So no changes to the app. The website, however, has majorly changed. Now, before you had your search bar at the top in the middle and your three buttons to the top left. They're not there anymore. Your three buttons, so your friend requests, messages and notifications, are now in the top right, along with a home button and some settings buttons. In the top left, you now have your search bar, where you can search for friends, pages, apps, whatever. Down the left hand side you still have your normal menu. I think there's a few slight tweaks to that. Down the right hand side you now have a new menu which is trending, which I think they've sort of copied from Twitter, and then in the middle you have your newsfeed, which a new addition that they've made is that every news story now has its own little box around it, so you know when one starts, one ends, when the next one begins, so on and so forth. Now, the thing that I don't like about this is that, say for instance, you're using it in more than 400 times Zoom, which some of us have to, and you want to use Facebook Chat. A lot of us use Facebook Chat. Now, the thing that's happened is, if you use Facebook Chat in 400 times Zoom, and there's 32 people online, for instance, it will only give you 5 to 10 of them, because it blocks the rest out when you scroll down. No idea why. So yeah. So that's them updates. So the max out of 10 for both. The app I'd have to give a 7.5 out of 10 because I do quite like the app. The website a 6 out of 10 because I don't really like the redesign. Yeah, I don't really like where they put everything, and yeah, the chat feature, not really a good thing. Next I'm going to talk about Twitter app. No major changes. There's just one slight change where your notifications are now actually called notifications instead of messages, not messages, instead of mentions, and instead of having an @ sign, they now have a bell. It's the same on the website, sorry. The website, however, across the top you had your 4 main buttons. You still have them, but they've decided to increase the size of them. No idea why. They then put a big, thick black line underneath it, and then you can't really use half your Twitter page. So yeah, that's that. There is another update which, if you're signed up to the Twitter blog, you can update now. If not, it's being rolled out on the 28th of May, I think. And that is the new Me or profile page. Now, your previous profile page is you had a big box at the top with your pictures, name, @name, description, web pages, blah 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 blah. And then down the side you could tweet and, sections, and then to the right you had all your tweets. This has changed. It's more of a Facebook layout. In the top left you have a big picture of your profile picture, obviously. Then then underneath that you have your name, underneath that you have your @name, underneath that you have your description, then you have underneath that any web pages that you've linked, underneath that you then have when you join Twitter. So that's your sort of description page thing. Underneath that section you then have all your pictures and videos that you've uploaded to Twitter. There is a slight flaw in this. Say for instance you like a YouTube video, which granted some of us like to do. It will then add them to your uploaded videos. Not 100% sure why. Now, to the right, at the top you now have all different sections. You have how many tweets you've sent, people that you follow, followers that follow you, and then I think you have another few buttons. One of them's lists, I think one of them's favourites. I'll have to double check on that. Underneath that, you then have another section where you can either view tweets that you've tweeted, of your tweets and app replies that you've been mentioned in. Now, there is a slight thing that I should say, that they've now decided to include the pin me feature, which basically means if someone new is viewing your profile, you can pin a particular tweet to the top of your me page, which I suppose if you try to make it look professional, you want your best tweet to be at the top. Don't really know why that is, but there you go. So I'm gonna do the max out of 10. The app, I'd have to say an 8.5, 9 out of 10, because I love the Twitter app. It's so easy and fluid, it just works. The website, I'd have to say probably a 7.5, because of the big giant buttons. Don't really like that. The new Twitter layout I do quite like, actually. I think that's quite good. But the thing that also lets it down is the fact that when you add you like a video and it seems to add it to your uploaded videos. Not really sure why, but there you go. The next one that I'm going to talk about is YouTube. Now, obviously, I love YouTube because I'm doing a video. Now, the update to the app. The app really hasn't had any major updates. The only minor update that they've had is they've taken down the Uploads tab and replaced it with a My Channel tab. So basically it shows your channel. For instance, a bit like it did before they updated it this time around. If that makes any sense. If you use the app, you'll know what I'm on about. The website, however, if you're visually impaired and use it in anything above 200 times zoom, impossible. Just don't even try. Just don't even click on it. Because basically, if you go on it, all you're going to get is a big box at the top with basically an arrow pointing down. You can't scroll down, you can't scroll up, you can't scroll left to right, you can't click on any other buttons. The only way you can use YouTube in visually impaired settings is if you put it into 100% zoom and put a magnifier on it. Bearing in mind that if you use a magnifier with it, it blurs everything. Don't know why. The key thing that they have quite added, which I quite like, is if you do use it in 100%, which sometimes I have to because sometimes the app doesn't update as quickly as I'd like, in new videos. They have added 2 new tabs, What You're Watching and My Subscriptions. So they have made it easier to get to your videos that you want to watch if you have normal sight. If not, don't bother. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. So my max out of 10 for YouTube. The app, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Because basically I've used the app. It's a very fluid app. It's easy to use. Not really many problems. The website, 2. Pointless even using it. Just don't go on it. The next topic I'm going to talk about is Spotify. Now this is the last one. Now, Spotify, even on the app and on the web, used to be white backgrounds, bluey grey text with bluey grey borders. That's all changed. Both the app and the website and the desktop version have all gone black background, white text, which is amazing for us to use. So it's like that on the phone and on the iPad as well. Sorry, I got a bit tongue-tied then. They have added and moved about a few of the buttons on the app, but no major that you can't use it. The desktop, they've added quite a few good features. As I said, black background with white text. Another key feature that they've added, you can increase the text size. And then another key feature is, say for instance you're listening to your favourite artist. You can either view their album images or any photos that they posted. Whether or not you'd want to view them is another story. You can either view them in miniature size, medium size or extra large size, which basically covers half the page. So great additions. So the app max out of 10, I'd have to give it probably an 8 because I like Spotify, and the desktop probably a 9 because I do like using the Spotify desktop app because I like to do other things. Can't really do it on the iPad. So that's been my little mini review of them. Hopefully you've enjoyed this Access All Areas video. If there's any apps or websites that you'd like me to take a look at, please get in touch. I'll list all my social things down below. I did post this Wednesday, no it wasn't this Wednesday, where it was last Wednesday, a technology themed post over on my blog, which I'll remember to link in the description bar as well. If you have any other video ideas, please get in touch as well. If you liked this video, remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and I'll see you again in another video.
Well, now it's It's looks and sounds.